Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. And in today's episode, we're doing a little shooting here, guys. What we're basically going to do is we're going to do some broadhead tuning. Now, I've already gone out and hunted this year. I probably should have broadhead tuned before we went out, but I did check and make sure, I was on with field points. But broadhead tuning is something that's it's definitely overlooked by a lot of people. And if you guys want to check out another video on broadhead tuning before I get into this, somewhere in Wisconsin, I will link his channel below and to the video. But he also does a video similar to this, kind of explaining how he does some broadhead tuning, and I think it's really informational. So after you check out this video, hop on over there, check that out if I don't quite answer all your guys' questions. Like I said, it's often something that's overlooked often. Now, a lot of guys will go out and shoot their field points and then throw on 100 grain broadheads and call it good. But broadheads fly a little bit different here. So I'm expecting mine to be off maybe a little bit. Last year my broadheads were on, but I did switch out to a different type of broadhead this year. I've always used Rage broadheads, but these Rage ones are a little bit different. So I always shoot the broadhead first and then my field points. So I'm going to grab the target and we're going to get out there and start zinging them. Okay guys, so before we start here, obviously you guys need a target. Now, I prefer this target right here. Honestly, can't even remember what the hell this target's called. I really prefer this target because there's just a lot of different angles you can shoot this sucker at. A lot of different targets, and it holds up really, really well. I don't usually shoot with broadheads on this very often, only when I'm pretty much broadhead tuning, but like I said, this is a great target. It is pricier, it is pricier target. You can also buy some other targets that are cheaper, but I like this one because it just holds up. You can just take it anywhere, chuck it. It's just super durable, guys. So I would highly suggest one of these targets. I'll link it down below in the description as well so you can check them out. But we're gonna throw this out there and start zinging some arrows at it. Alright, so right before we start shooting, guys, here is my bow. Shoot a Matthews Adrenaline. I'm shooting probably like 335 feet per second on this. I haven't checked that in a long time. Could be off, I don't know. I have new arrows this year as well, and like I said, new broadheads here. Basically, I like to start out at 20 yards and I like to go out to about 40 or 50 yards, usually around 40. The furthest I've ever had to take a deer is at 45 yards. So the majority of the time, I'm only gonna go out to about 40 yards on my shots. That's really the furthest you're gonna shoot around here, especially in the woods. The fact that I got to shoot 45 on that one doe just happened to have a pretty good clearing. So I'm gonna shoot 20, 30, and 40 broadhead first, and then the field points. Now, I am going to shoot with my quiver on. Some people are gonna roast me in the comments of, why don't you take it off? It's extra weight. Well, this bow doesn't weigh a lot anyway. I'm used to it, okay? So I can draw back on a deer and be waiting for some time before I shoot. It doesn't bother me. I'm used to shooting with the quiver on here. Yes, it is extra weight, but you never know when you're gonna have to shoot with it on. So I just leave it on as well so I don't take up more space in the stand. I just like having it right there. Like I said, 20 yards, we're gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna, make sure that we're on at 20, and we should be. So I'm gonna turn the camera on the target and we're gonna shoot. So I'm gonna rack up the old broadhead first here, like I always say. So that's pretty much dead on right there, guys, at 20 with the broadhead. Now we'll go ahead and shoot the field points and see if I'm off at all. So, looks like a pretty tight grouping. Perfect. As we're coming up to the target here, guys, looks pretty darn good. So the broadhead arrow actually is the one dead center, and then these are all my field points. So I'm not too far off of here. You can see that my grouping is pretty consistent and tight. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy at 20 yards here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out and then go back to 30 yards and see, guys. So now I'm gonna walk back to 30 here and take the shots. I'm gonna leave the camera a little closer so you can see, but I'm gonna shoot my round at 30 there and see where we're at. Okay, so here's my 30-yard shot, guys. Now you can see that this one is the broadhead arrow. These two on the outsides are the field points. It's a little high, but reason being, I think, is this one was just me just completely screwing up, user error. And this one, with these two shots, I cranked a little high. I think that's my own fault there. So I'm gonna reshoot at 30 one more time and just to make sure. But I think I'm pretty much on at 30 as well. But I always like to shoot again if I feel a little off as well. But I have a feeling that I'm gonna be on the second one here a little bit better. Right, so now this is gonna be round 2 at 30. Just to check real quick, I'm probably just gonna shoot the broadhead in one field point just to check and make sure everything's good. All right, guys, so 30 yards again. I shot 3 instead of 2 because I felt weird about it, but this is the broadhead here, and then here are my field points. So the broadhead hit exactly where I kind of thought I was going to be, so I'm right on here, guys. Now, it may look like my grouping's pretty crappy because it is. These two shots, I don't know. I'm just messing them up, guys. I'm not going to worry about it because that's just me needing a little more practice shooting. I haven't shot as much this year as I probably should have, so this right here, the kind of, you know, left and right stuff, that's just myself. Otherwise, you know, this broadhead hit a little high last time, and then it hit right where I thought it was going to. These two should have hit here, but a little more shooting, and I'm fine. It's just me kind of, you know, weaving a little bit. All right, everybody, so that was at 20 and 30 yards. 20 yards, I was right where I thought I was going to be. 30 yards, you know, the arrows are hitting right where I want them to. The broadhead came down like I predicted. The broadhead came down because that was just kind of user error. And now we're gonna go back to 40 yards. Shoot at 40, see if I'm where I need to be. You know, normally I would make an adjustment with the rest after kind of how I shot at 30 yards, but I really believe that that's just myself. I think usually I would make a rest adjustment, but I really think that's myself because when I shot earlier this year, I was right on. So I was surprised because I was expecting to make some rest adjustments or some just adjustments in general with my bow because it did get new limbs on it this year, but I haven't had to make any adjustments so far. So we're gonna go ahead, step back at 40 and see, and then if that's right on, then I'm probably just gonna go ahead and shoot a mock scenario of what that'll look like, and then explain like how you're gonna make the adjustments to get perfect broadhead tuning. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna step back to 40 yards and sling some arrows in. Guys, so this is at 40 now. Not as tight as I'd like to see it again, but I think this one's the broadhead here, and then this one's the field point, and this one's the field point. I'm at a weird spot at 40 yards shooting here. I'm kind of like standing in a ditch over there, so the target's at like a weird angle for me, but just because of that angle, it's pretty weird. But this is exactly, you know, kind of where I thought I'd be at 40. Honestly, right here, I'm happy with this. I don't think I have to make any adjustments. You can see this is where the broadhead hit at 40, and then this is the field point, and that's a field point. This is my last shot, so you know, my field points are hitting close enough, or there's not much of a change that I need to make at all, so I'm gonna keep it. It's surprisingly pretty good. All right, guys, so here's what we're gonna do. Right now we're gonna go through what I would do and how you're gonna go ahead and broadhead tune and tune your bow for your broadheads here. So I put one arrow into the target here, and we're gonna say that this is our field point arrow, okay? So now let's say you shoot your second arrow here, right? And it comes in, and we hit to the left, let's say, of your field point. So here's your field point, and then here is the arrow that hit to the left of it, right? Well, what we want to do is get these two arrows as close as we can together. Now, this is the field point, so we're not going to make an adjustment off of this arrow. We're going to make an adjustment off of this arrow. So we hit to the right of it, right? So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna move your rest over about a 32nd of an inch. Not much, small adjustments. I can't emphasize this enough. small adjustments. And after you make that adjustment, let's say you're shooting at 20 yards, walk back to 20 or 30, whatever you're shooting at, preferably 30, it's a little easier to manage, or I mean 20, it's a little easier to manage. But let's say whatever you're shooting at, you're gonna make that adjustment, that 32nd of an inch adjustment, then you're going to see that this arrow here, your second arrow, is going to start getting closer. You basically wanna shoot till these two are right on top of each other. Now what's gonna happen when you move your arrow rest over that 32nd of an inch, right here, you'd wanna move it a 32nd of an inch to the right. So what's gonna happen is your point of impact, where you're hitting, is going to be hitting over here more now on the target, okay? Does that make sense? So then you're gonna have to resight it. So basically, how this is gonna go, you guys are gonna shoot at 20 yards, let's say. Shoot your field point right here. You shot your field point, then you went and shot your broadhead, and you hit to the left. Let's say you hit to the right of it this time, right? Let's say you guys are shooting to the right. You hit to the right of it, obviously you're not where you wanna be. You're gonna take your rest, you're gonna move it a 32nd of an inch to the left then. You'll move it to the left, and then that's gonna bring this arrow, slowly bring this arrow closer together with those little adjustments. But your point of impact off of your next shot, like this arrow here, is gonna get more to the left. So then you're going to have to resight to center on the target. So what you'll do is you'll make the rest adjustments till these two arrows are in line with each other, and then go ahead and resight in so that you're centered on the target. All right, guys, so now we're gonna move into shooting up and down, so high or low. So once again, here is your field point. Now you shoot your broadhead. Let's say you hit low. Let's say you shoot that broadhead and you're hitting right below it, right down here, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're still gonna make a rest adjustment, but you're gonna move your rest up. You're gonna move it towards this till you're in line again. Same thing if you're shooting, you shoot your field point and you hit high, you're going up here, you're going to want to move your rest down to get that in line. And it's the same concept, guys. Make it a very small adjustment. Go ahead, shoot again, make sure you're on, but your points of impact are gonna change, so you're gonna have to recenter and resight after those adjustments. If you guys are making these adjustments and something's not working, like it's just not working for you, I would suggest go to a bow shop, see if something else is off. I'm not a genius, I'm not perfect with bows and know every single little thing about them. I just know what works for me and how I've been taught to do it. So if there's anything that what else could be going wrong, I would suggest taking it in, because then you're gonna figure out exactly what's wrong with it, and get the help that you need. So guys, as you guys seen today, I wasn't shooting perfect, okay? In fact, some of my shots were kind of ugly. They were a little off, and that is just me being out of practice for you guys. I haven't had a lot of time to practice, and a lot of that is just because I've been busy making other videos and whatnot as well. But the biggest thing, guys, is getting out there, practicing, becoming a good shot and a good, strong, confident shot. If you do those things, guys, you're gonna have no problem making these adjustments and getting right where you need to be. You've seen today, I had some good groupings there. I can get them even better, but unfortunately, I shot a little sloppy today. But a lot of those things, because I am an experienced shooter, I've shot for years and years and years. I've been shooting since I was about like 10 or 11 years old. So I've been shooting for a really long time, and I've been taught, all this stuff growing up. And I can tell you right now that I am confident in the mistakes that I made today, I know are my own fault. So those shots that seemed a little off today, where you thought I might need to make an adjustment, I personally know that it was me. I'm out of practice. I need to practice more, and I'm out of sync. If you're a really good shot and it's still consistently off, then you need to make some adjustments on there. And like I said, if you're a good shot, you're gonna have no problem making these adjustments. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like this kind of stuff with archery and whatnot, go ahead, drop it in the comments below. Give it a like so I know that you guys like these types of videos, and then I'll keep making stuff like this. But like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. Be happy to answer them. We are doing a rod and reel giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new to the channel here, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, and then you're automatically entered in the 5,000 subscriber rod and reel giveaway, along with a bunch of other tackle, guys. I'm actually going to bring in a bunch of tackle from some companies that I'm working with. So at 5,000 subs, I'm really going to hook up whoever wins that giveaway. But like I said, remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.